Hello everyone, welcome to CodeChef. Myself Jwala Charasi and today we are going to solve the problem which came into Starters 209. The name of the problem is small GCD sort and the problem code is P3209. The difficulty rating of the problem is cakewalk and the prerequisite is a dog. Let's start with reading the problem statement over here. So guys, problem says there are n players numbered from 1 to n. Players I score is defined to be GCD of I comma n. A GCD of I comma n refers to the largest positive integer that divides both I and n. Your task is to find an ordering of the players from left to right that satisfies the following condition. Such that between two players with different scores, the one with higher score must appear somewhere to the left of the one with the lower score. Between two players with the same score, the player with a smaller number must appear somewhere to the left of the one with the lower score. It can be proved that these rules uniquely define an ordering of the n people. Your task is to find this ordering. Input format: the first line contains a single integer t denoting the number of test cases. Each of the next t lines contains a single integer n, the number of players. Output format: for each test case, print n space separate integers on a new line, the player numbers in the required preference order. Constraint for t lies from 1 to 100, for n lies from 1 to 100. So guys, now let's understand the sample test case in the question more precisely over here. So guys, this question is pretty much straightforward, simple ordering based question. Yeah. So we are being given a players. There are n players from 1 to n. Basically, will be given n, and the ith player score is defined to be GCD of I comma n, where GCD of I comma n refer to the largest positive integer that divides both of I and n as well. Okay. So our task is to find the ordering of a players from left to right. Okay, and that satisfies this condition that between two players, between player X and Y, with different scores, the one with the higher score must appear somewhere to the left one of the lower. Okay, and the other condition is player with the same score. Okay, so the player with smaller number between them must appear to the left of one with the lower score. So it can be proved that these rules uniquely define on an order of n people. So basically you have to find an ordering with this type of context. Okay, let's take the first test case. First test case, we have got n equal to 1. So there is only one player, so output the order would be simple 1, right? So yeah, let's go for the second test case. So we have got n equal to 2, right? So there are two players. So player one has a score of GCD of 1 comma 2, which is equals to 1, and player 2 has a score of uh player 2 has a score of GCD of 2 comma 2, which is equal to 2. So player 2 has a higher score and so appears to the left of player 1, right? Making only possible order is 2 comma 1, right? So output would be simply that order. So guys, I think the solution test cases are pretty much clear. Now let's move toward the solution. This is pretty much just a straightforward implementation task, right? Here is one way of doing. Let's first know that GCD of I comma n will always be an integer between 1 and n. So let's create a list up to 1 till or basically L1, L2 up till L of n. The list L of G will hold a list of all the players I such that GCD of I comma n equal to G sorted in ascending order. Start this uh, with all list being initially empty, and then for each uh, loop, with basically for the for loop, compute GCD of I comma n, and this can be done either using a loop or an inbuilt GCD function, then append it to the back of the our answer. Okay. So once this is done, we are ready to compute the necessary order. Let A be an empty array that will eventually hold the answer, and we do the following: iterate over G from n down to 1, and when processing G, simply append all the elements of G to A in order, and in the end the array will hold the order we wanted. The simple implementation, basically a simulation. Basically in this solution we are just simply printing the answer the way we want it. Okay, so guys, I think this solution is pretty much clear. Now let's move towards the simple C++ code. So guys, this is my simple C++ code. I took the input for all the test case, as well as I've created a vector. Yeah, in this I am storing the GCDs. Yeah, I am collecting all the result in some reverse order, and the last, after doing my operation and checking, I am simply printing my results. Okay, and as you can see that guys, I have got my C++ code right. Now let's move toward the Python code. So guys, this is my similar Python code. I took the input for all the test cases as well as and initialize a for loop. Yeah, I am doing my pending my GCD in this. At the last initializing the answer, I'm reversing them, then doing my checking of the operations, and at the last, I'm simply printing my answer, answer array. And as you can see that guys, I've got my Python code right. So guys, I think the solution, the code, and the approach is pretty much clear. Now let's meet in the next video. Thank you so much guys for watching our videos.